right, welcome back, everyone. Starting up with the gold team from the Marvels playing against the Franklin Shogun this week. Last week, the gold team had a little bit of a struggle getting a win, but they're coming back strong and going to try and get this victory here. This week, we'll be doing a different game mode that we will explain once we get into this game here. And right after we switch up some players, I will get back and introduce you to the team as well. And so starting off here, we have Poison Apple with that damage and frontline. Really aggressive player, always down to get into the fray. Never afraid to dive that backline either. Then we had Dreamer, the support, the godlike Mercy player over here. And then we have Luigi, the support and frontline as well. 007 Climber, that frontline, playing a frontline this time instead of the damage carry role. So we'll see how that plays out for him there. And we have XP Liam, the last week XP coin winner for that incredible improvement for the last couple of weeks. We'll see how he has improved this week as well. And then finally, Frost with that frontline and damage. And I believe today he will be playing as the frontline dive tank, playing that Zarya. Not too much of a dive tank, so the damage tank. And we will see how that comes into play as well. And as we get going here, I will hand it off to Bennett here, our shoutcaster, to explain a little bit about this map here.
Might make things a little difficult for Madison, and it looks like we have a disconnect from Madison 4. Not sure if we're going to pause for that. Yeah, pause does come in a moment here, but we'll see that they've taken the high ground. They've got 2 of their shield heroes up to protect them, and then the Soldier and the Baptiste to just try to rain some damage down on the opponents, but that will all have to wait just a moment, as we are going to be in a pause right now.
Yeah, and I will bring you guys right back once we figure out how to get our player back into the game. And for now, we'll be right back.
Oh, man, looks like ended, and everybody's going to get started going here. Madison, they're making their way to the payload, and Reinhardt's Fire Strike really affected the damage down. The Immortality Field comes from Franklin, though, preventing any from dying, but they'll jump down. A coordinated tactic here to try to get some eliminations onto Madison, but nothing to find anything so far. The healers from Madison's keeping them all alive. Madison 4, the Moira falling dangerously low, and it's going to be the Reinhardt who falls first. The Resurrection comes through, though. Great job from that Mercy, keeping the team up. Really nice. And then the Zarya as well going to have a long charge, but will be eventually eliminated by Franklin there. It's going to be a trade, though. The Reinhardt committed too far into Madison's team goes down. Madison's Soldier dropping as here, and it looks like they're just going to wait for their teammates to respawn. But Franklin, they have other plans as the Coalescence comes out from their Moira, that bright bee dealing a ton of damage to Madison's players, who are going to have to hide behind this wall. They wait for their teammates to return. They're playing one player up for a moment. The Reinhardt has not yet returned Franklin. but having trouble capitalizing on that as Franklin, they have them pinned sort of in spawn. They'll decide to flank around here as the Baptiste's amplification matrix will be wasted for Franklin. The hammer comes down, not going to find any, but the Reinhardt will fall for Franklin. Madison now, the positions have sort of swapped as Madison, they've taken this high ground, they're fighting from uphill, and the Coalescence comes out. Madison now, that damage going to be so active at really getting rid of some of these Franklin players, but the Death Blossom finds 3. That's really excellent from Franklin, resurrected by Mercy, but she can't resurrect them all, and the Zarya's gonna have a hard time getting out of here. Looks like she will manage to do so, though. Just backing into spawn, and Madison, they get to regroup now.
Yeah, and this Franklin team doing a good job of preventing them from the point. They got a good first start there, but since Madison has not been on that point, has been slowly being pushed back.
Oh, and the Shatter blocked by the shield, unfortunately. Madison's Reinhardt not able to get those stuns. The Ravitic Flux is up, dealing a bunch of damage to Madison's players, and they're getting in their spawn point right now. A resurrection from Mercy, but Coalescence Beam just going to keep them in there. Such a fast charging ultimate going to be really useful for Shogun for that Franklin team. Now the Reinhardt just trying to make a little bit of space, using that shield to give Madison a chance at the payload. I've only made it a few meters thus far, and the Reinhardt just trying to get that hammer as far in as possible. Madison, they're going to have trouble getting coordination they need to get out, switching out the Sombra to try to hack away their opponent's abilities. But they will find the first elimination onto that Baptiste. That's going to be useful for them. And the hammer down, not going to find anything here for either team, really. And now Madison, they're the ones finding the eliminations now. They've found onto the enemy Reaper. They were resurrected by that Mercy ability once more. And the Reinhardt falling dangerously low and hacked, but will be able to get back to the team, will be protected. The Reaper getting right in the front there. The Soldier's tactical visor that could be so dangerous. The Coalescence, though, is able to finish off that Sigma. The whole hog used as well. It's going to be a trade, though, as Roadhog goes down. This ultimate's so effective, amplifies all damage and healing coming through it. And they're going to have to be very careful. It's that amplification matrix they're going to find 2, make that 3. Franklin 5 doing a really nice job there. Hammer, not going to stun anyone for the moment, but Madison, they're in overtime. If they don't keep touching this cart, they will not be able to proceed, and it looks like Franklin are going to be able to clean this one up. Only the Moira left. Reinhardt's coming out to the Reaper, but will they be able to make it? The hammer, again, does not find anything in the Reaper. Is he going to be able to make the point? The Moira is still there, zapping the health of the enemy team, but they will both be cleaned up, and Madison not going to be able to make it happen.
In that first round, not getting it too far, only 25 meters. So for this next round of this first match, they will have to prevent the Franklin team from even getting that far, which will be a tall task indeed.
Yeah, definitely difficult. You'll be able to see fairly soon here. There will be a golden box on the ground, and if Franklin can get that golden box, they will take the first map. If Madison can prevent that for 4 minutes, they will emerge victorious. So it's going to be interesting. What sort of composition are Madison going to use to try to ensure their victory? And they have to lock in their heroes in just a moment. So it looks like we're seeing something very similar to what we saw last time, with a couple of changes on the damage front. They will opt for that Bastion, as will Franklin. Both teams recognizing the power of that turret in such a close range encounter. Now you'll be able to see that golden box on the ground. That denotes that all Franklin needs to get that cart just around the corner and a little bit further, and they will be the victors today, or in this map at least. And that Reinhardt really wants to hold as far forward as possible, prevent Franklin from even getting an inch. But it's where the Bastion will set up that may be the most impactful thing here. The Bastion will need to be dealing that damage with that turret, and immediately you'll see does a ton of damage. Heroes, the shield for that Reinhardt falls down, but the pin comes onto the Bastion. That's perfect from Franklin to eliminate that big damage dealer that Madison has. No mercy this time, so not going to be able to resurrect. They're going to have to do this one the hard way. Meanwhile, Franklin, they'll find a resurrection onto their own Reinhardt, and the Bastion is to be walking, going to be a road, and the team, meanwhile, going to have to hold out without the help of that Bastion, but so far they're doing it very well. Genji, though, gets taken out by that Reaper, and now 4 versus 6. A tall order for Madison, but Shogun falling so low, especially healing, going to find it difficult to stay alive, but will manage to do so. And Madison, they find that charge and get the Reinhardt. The Bat falls as well. The resurrection comes onto the Reinhardt, unfortunately for Madison, but their Bastion is back. In conjunction with that high charge Zarya, they're going to be able to find what they need. That Ana has so much value by preventing enemy team from being healed using her hypnotic grenade. A really nice job from Dreamer to really pop off on that Ana moment. And then just setting themselves back up. Meanwhile, Franklin going for a bit of a sneaky strategy here. They're coming behind, but Madison, they are aware. The Reinhardt has seen, and the hammer comes down to that Reinhardt, who will just be moved away. The Reaper is going to have to get out as he can, but Franklin 4 on that Bastion does have that ultimate. Going to be a little behind for Madison because of early death. And Bastion now alone, not where you want to be, but has been able to find 3 before inevitably gets eliminated himself. Now, unfortunately, Madison, they're getting pinned hammer, and the healing grenade Ana not going to be quite enough here. The Zarya and the Reinhardt forced to retreat. They're coming right back in there with that charge. It's massive. Madison with 3 on that Reinhardt, going to be doing a great job here, and the Genji as well, slicing and dicing through the Bastion for that elimination. Even the Moira, that healer hero, gets involved and finds the Reaper, and now what was looking like an impossible seeming all too possible, as only 1:30 seconds remain for Franklin to try to push it these next 20 meters or so. But the pin onto that Zarya could problem, but the will remain alive. Bastion falls again, as does the Reinhardt, and the Genji is Reaper finding so much value with the Blossom. Now 6 versus 2, and the pin just does everything they need, and that'll be a good kill. Franklin, they had to struggle, but they will take this map in the end.
Yeah, that was a really close one there. Unfortunately, that Death Blossom coming in there, eliminating 3. And that was really the nail in the coffin right there, and I believe we'll see that play right here.
Yeah, the Death Blossom ultimate builds up, just able right into the team, deal all damage that needs to be done, and then notices that the Reinhardt is able to be cleaned up as well. Gets actually 4, and just so effective. You can see XPL Franklin, with only 3 uses of the Death Blossom ultimate, was able to 12 eliminations. Really nice job there.
Yeah, and as we get onto this next map, moving on to the next one, we will have a few adjustments, and we will be right back with the second match. Madison is down by 1, and so we will see what they do for this next game to pull it back for this best of 3. Alright, and here we are once again on a different map. We are on Havana this time. Same rules apply. Gotta push this cart all the way to the end of the track. We will see how each team fares. It seems that the advantage has been towards that defending team. Both teams finding it extremely difficult in order to move this point any further. Last time it was the Franklin Shogun only had about a minute left before they would have also failed to reach that same 25-meter objective, when the total is more around like 300 meters, I believe. So they barely got at all towards that end.
Yeah, now it's going to be Madison here will be the first team to defend this time, so Madison getting to sort of set the pace, and then they'll be tested to see if they can match Franklin when they get a chance on that offense. Looks like they're going to try to hold very far up here. Oftentimes you'll see teams set up on the high ground, set up further away from the spawn, and maybe they're having some second thoughts here, because you'll see them backing up for the moment. Long range, that Widowmaker, that Ana, all able to be really effective from a long distance. Let's see what they try to do here, but the Sigma and the Sombra playing pretty far up front here, just trying to deal some damage here, but will be taken by that Moira. The Bastion, meanwhile, sitting in Franklin's spawn, just doing immense damage to those shields. Really difficult. And you'll see now the Bastion gets on the cart, but will be slept by Ana. Really nice shot there to remove the Bastion from the fight for the moment, but the Reinhardt going straight in here. Bastion getting onto the Widowmaker, and the Reinhardt will take unscathed. Although Madison's Reinhardt find that pin onto the Reaper, it will be resurrected, and now Madison's Reinhardt goes down. Unfortunate, and now Sigma in some trouble here for Madison. Going to be trying to get that brawl in here, but the team going to be pretty difficult. Has to the healers, and now this time we're seeing a lot of motion on this payload. Get close to the first checkpoint, as you'll see that bar in the middle. But Ana finding a nice anti-healing grenade. Franklin, unfortunately, won't be quite enough, but the Reinhardt now charged to Madison's backline. Could be punishable, but now their Sigma get a nice headshot from the Widowmaker to clean that one up for Madison. Mercy finds a resurrection onto Madison's Ana, and it's going to continue. The fight looks like it's mostly in Madison's favor for the moment, but these things can turn it, especially when those ultimates coming out just like this coalesce from Shogun to try to keep the team healed up. But that's all it's going to do. It's going to find any eliminations. Meanwhile, the team finds one onto the Bastion. Madison's Sigma now gets pinned and taken down by that fire strike. Madison, they have a couple of ultimate. Hit the nano boost onto the Reinhardt, going to pin a couple of heroes and eliminates Reinhardt. But unfortunately for Madison, they have captured the first checkpoint. The spawn points have now moved. Defense has a spawn point that is closer here, which is going to give them an advantage when they're this close to that offensive spawn. We'll see Madison, they'll retreat, they'll regroup. But now their Bastion on the flank here could be looking for a use of that tank ultimate potentially, but the Reaper behind going to make it really difficult for them. And meanwhile, the Reaper gets taken down as well. Madison with no damage here left, going to find it very tricky, and the tank ultimate comes out from Glenn. That'll make it tricky. Ton of damage, but not quite gonna find anything. Meanwhile, it's the battle of the Reinhardts here up in the front, as Franklin will there. This second checkpoint looking very close for them already. They've sort of got one chance left here, and the Bastion shuts down their counterpart and is just going to continue dealing that massive damage into Madison. They haven't been group yet, and the second checkpoint will also go to Franklin, but it's the third checkpoint of Havana where teams can make absolutely massive holds, and Madison are going to need here because it is a lot of time, almost that they're going to have here. But Franklin, they continue dealing that damage. The Sigma's going to have a lot of trouble staying alive for Madison here. Will fall to that Moira, to that damage. But now it's Madison's turret setting up. They're going to have some trouble dealing with the range. A tank ultimate comes out. Unfortunately, will not last, as Franklin. They will find that elimination with the Reaper. Madison's Soldier just getting straight in here. But again, getting sucked that life from that Moira. Now, Soldier, though, trying to eliminate this. Not quite able to do so, and there are a lot of ultimates left. The thing coming down from Madison. Give them one. Get the eliminate the Bastion, as well as the Reinhardt. Some important ones to find early. It's going to make it very difficult for the rest of the team. The Gravitic Flux comes Sigma for Franklin, dealing a bunch of damage to Madison's Bastion, but will manage to remain alive here. Now, if Madison can take control of this card, this could give them what they need to make the longer hold. The hook pulls in Reinhardt. Will to escape, trying to escape with life, but won't be able to do so. Madison's Bastion now all set is everything you are going to need as a Bastion. Able to rain damage down onto the team, and now the tank comes out for Franklin this time. Madison, they're going to be backing from that one, hopefully just letting it expire without too much damage from those camps. But one elimination comes on to Soldier. Going to be traded out, though, as the Reinhardt looks for a pin to their counterpart. Franklin will be successful there, and Madison's Reinhardt goes down. The Resurrection is going to make this a very disadvantaged fight for Madison. The Coalescence keeping that Bastion alive, as well as dealing a whole lot of damage. And now Franklin's Bastion takes out their counterpart. Madison's Roadhog having trouble here with the Reaper will fall. And now Franklin, they're pushing forward. Mercy trying desperately to escape elimination. Will be successful in doing so. But now the Reinhardt charged into the backline. An unfortunate move will quickly lead to elimination from that Bastion turret. Now all set up on the... They're advancing towards here, and it's going to be a tricky Madison to try to make. But Soldier's tactical visor, combined with the whole hog, could be just what they need. The more trying to focus onto that Bastion is the tank ultimate canceled as the Bastion goes down, and that's 5 eliminations. That's a team kill.
That was a beautiful play by Madison right there. Inches from the finish here, they stop it, but will it be enough? They'll have to do that a few more times if they're planning on not letting them get to this final point here.
Yeah, but they've already made quite a bit of time back here. 3 minutes since they captured that second checkpoint. And you can see where the skill of these players is really coming in. Those hooks, those sleeps, anti-healing grenades from Ana, everything landing exactly where it needs to in order to give Madison that advantage. The pin out from the Reinhardt. Unfortunate for Madison, and their respective pin will miss. Unfortunately, a trade where it goes down on the side of Madison. Reinhardt lost for Franklin, but the Resurrection is there. A really nice job from Franklin's Mercy to get right back into the fight, and that's going to be that Reinhardt just in the front, dealing 75 damage per hit. Massive hammer. Just a whole lot of damage, but the Hog as well, Madison, might be able to save things once again. And the elimination traded back and forth, but it looks like Madison, they are going to be the ones to come out on top despite heroic resurrection from Franklin. Just enough.
Yeah, and this is going to be the Shogun's most likely their final attempt to try to get this in here. Only 40 seconds left on the clock where they have to get this point in here in order to get that third checkpoint.
And now Madison, they're doing their best Bastion, but unfortunately the Death Blossom is going too overwhelmingly powerful, and Madison, they need to get back on this point soon or they are going to be captured. The Roadhog trying his best to get there, but will not be able to do so. The tank, just too much damage for them to overcome. The hammer, though, is pretty strong from Madison's Reinhardt, and the Resurrection is there onto the Roadhog as well. The Gravitic Flux, though, catches a bunch of Madison up in the air, and it's just a fraction of a meter. Roadhog going to need to pop off once more here with the support of the... and unfortunately won't be able to do so. It happens in overtime, but all 3 points will be captured by Frank.
Yeah, a good attempt for Madison to try to claim victory from the jaws of defeat, but unfortunately, they were not able to do so this time. But the fact that it took them the entire time for them to get to this point is good for Madison, because if they can beat that time going to this third point, they will take this match.
That is true. And yeah, I believe I'm not sure specifics of the rules on escort, I believe if Madison are able to finish with more than a minute remaining, they will either win outright or have a significant advantage in time bank. I know there is potential for extra rounds to be had depending on how much time Madison finished with, but in order to get to the extra rounds at all, Madison will complete the map in the same manner that Franklin just did. So their goal is simple. They need to prevent Madison from capturing all 3 checkpoints at any cost.
Yeah, and we see that both teams coming out with a little bit different team compositions here. The Madison Marvels coming out with the Zyra instead of that Roadhog. We'll see how that takes into play for this next round.
It's true, the Roadhog was very effective at a lot of damage within that last checkpoint, but the Zarya's protective bubbles can really help keep the team alive as well. Who knows really which is more valuable? Madison, they're giving both their chances, and now Bastion trying to set up on that cart, but having trouble. Meanwhile, the Reinhardt right into the back there, and then that protective bubble from the Zarya, able to keep that Reinhardt protected as they're able to find 2 eliminations before, fortunately, Franklin's Reinhardt will gain the upper hand. The Reap getting in front there, and the Zarya now just trying to remain without the support of the team, going to be more difficult, and they will retreat to spawn. Wait for their fallen teammates to return here. But they will do so quickly, and now the Bastion able to quickly find one onto that out of position Sig. Zarya gets involved as well. And Franklin, they're falling dangerously low. Need to use the Immortality Field just to stay alive, and it's the Doomfist swap that's really effective here for them. Able to deal a lot of damage. The Bastion cleans things. Moira even getting it as well, and the Baptiste is not able to escape. That's a lot of eliminations for Madison. And the Sigma and Moira now come back here trying to make another challenge at this first point, but the overwhelming damage of the Bastion could just be too much for them. Going to find it difficult to get out from behind cover here and remain safe. Even Coalescence, 50 healing percent to the Moira, but is it going to be enough to withstand the Bastion? Not be, as the Reaper tries to get to the Bastion, will be denied. And both hammers going here, unclear who it benefited, but Madison, their Reinhardt will find the pin, and they will take the first checkpoint. Lots of Franklin, dangerously low now, and the Bastion's going to be able to help clean things up, as those additional eliminations give them something of an advantage heading into this second checkpoint. You'll all notice, if you look at those check marks in the top of your screen, you'll see significantly more of them on the side of Madison. That denotes Madison have a lot more of those powerful ultimate abilities at their disposal right now. Should they decide to use those here, it gives them a massive advantage in the upcoming fight. But now the teams coming direct view of one another. It's going to be Bastion versus Bastion now, but the tank comes out from first, just going to be dealing a ton of damage, but enough as the Fire Strike will find the elimination. The amplification matrix perfectly to boost damage of that Franklin team. The Graviton Surge puts them all in place, and Madison, they'll be able to follow up on that. Zarya and Moira working together to try to really clean this one up. Only the tanks remaining for the side of Franklin, but the tanks, maybe they're enough. The Sigma now the left, but Madison, they're continuing their advance. They have almost captured this checkpoint. The Sigma distracted soldier will he be able to touch the point? No, the Moira will find that final elimination, but the Mercy and Reaper do. The Death Blossom finds one onto the Bastion, and now the Moira's out with that Coalescence. Bastion is able to set up on the high ground, and maybe Franklin, they can turn this around. It was so close for Madison. Meters from that checkpoint, but now maybe it's not over, as Tactical Visor comes out from that Soldier ultimate, going to deal some extra damage with that perfect aim. But again, not quite enough, as they're going to get set back up on this high ground. The Bastion able to damage down whenever Madison show their faces, but now their Bastion tries here to set up an angle of his own, but the tank now comes out for Franklin. Let's see, will it be as effective? Not quite. Madison, they'll just back away, doing a really nice job to mitigate that one. Unfortunately, the Reinhardt really gets right up in their faces and makes it impossible to escape. And now trying to clean things up, but Madison's Moira will be advancing here, trying to launch that damage-dealing orb into the back of that Coalescent. Almost ready. Could put us in a great way to end this fight with that beam of healing. But right now, they're content to just wait for the other teams to do something. It's going to be Franklin taking initiative here that will find these initial 2 eliminations. Madison 2, the Doomfisting as well, only finding Moira for the side of Madison, but the sleep coming out onto Franklin, the anti-healing as well. A really nice job from Anna to shut down this flank Reinhardt, but actually saved by the Mercy. Really nice play from Franklin to keep their key members alive. Madison, though, they're coming up on their ultimates once more, and that's going to give them another great chance at cracking open the nut of this Franklin defense. The Ana, the Zarya, the Moira all decide to get right in there. Both Essences are used, but the Death Blossom will shut them all down. Really nice job from the Reaper to just get in there, notice the flank, and shut it down perfectly. And now all those ultimates were for naught. Madison having some trouble, but the Gravitic Flux will catch the remaining members, and the advantage with Franklin as they are able to find these cleaning eliminations. The Sigma get credit for most of those, and now even the Zarya in trouble. That Bastion finally will chase her behind some cover here, and now an advantage more with Franklin. They had that one good, it was not quite enough. Even the Mercy trying to get in the damage dealing for Franklin, and actually gets one into kill feed. Now that's not something you see every day. Mercy, a healing hero, not so much meant for dealing damage, but actually find not just one, looking for a second here as this Genji maybe trying to deflect that damage away, try to take down Franklin and get them an opening, but have not quite successful thus far, and the tank is once again rolling. With only 10 seconds remaining, Madison need to touch this point in order to trigger overtime, and it's unclear who's going to be able to. It looks like the Moira will be the one making it to the point. Mercy there, well, those supports able to heal further, but not enough to withstand damage from that Bastion. And even when one was eliminated, the resurrection came on. The Zarya, though, might be doing enough. Keeper just deals too much damage. Madison, they're not going to be able to reach the point here. And that will be the second map going to.
Yeah, that was a good initial push by the Madison Marvels, but they just fell off after that last big fight with the Death Blossom coming out. And here we see the game of the play by XT Liam with that Soldier with the ultimate here.
Yeah, and we'll see that tact really makes it a lot easier to find those, but even once the visor is done, really nice aim to secure eliminations.
Yeah, and with that, unfortunately, the Madison Marvels have lost this match. A good fight by the Shogun. We might be playing one more friendly match just for that extra practice against a very formidable team that the Shogun have put forth this week. And we will be right back with that game once we get a couple more adjustments for players. And welcome back here with the friendly match. Both teams trying to learn the most from each other. Both very capable teams, which is very good practice for both of them. Fortunately, the Marbles did not come out on top today, but we will see how they do in this last final match. This last one being on a new scrapyard map.
Ready for battle.
Very similar, but very much more confined with very narrow corridors. As you can see, a lot of places to take an advantage and get that high ground. And so we will see how each team handles this new challenge. You can see the Marbles coming out with a little bit of a different lineup here. It appears that XP Liam is going to be a healer this time, and we got a couple of other switches as well. We have Poison Apple with that Reinhardt, the big beefy tank that likes to get up there with that huge shield. We'll see how her aggression plays into this playstyle. Here we get going here. The Madison Marbles starting this thing, the cart moving forward, and they have that Bastion up on the high ground. But it looks like the Madison Marbles are able to get him off of that high ground and force them back down. An elimination coming from both teams. Got that Reaper out for the Franklin team, which is huge. Madison Marbles with that Diva coming in there with Dreamer, doing a good job of eliminating the backline right there, and that'll be a significant push. Poison Apple going all the way, trying to get that Baptiste, but unable to catch him as he runs around the corner. And we have all of these on the point. We got that giant shield from Layla protecting this pile of cash, moving it down the way. Looks like that amplification field coming out from the Franklin team. Doesn't look like it's going to be doing too much here, though, as they focus their attention back onto this point. The tanks, though, however, Madison, are out of place, leaving their backline out to be eliminated right there. That Moira, the support, and the Diva outside of her mech, both very vulnerable targets. Looks like we have a Sigma in the backline and is quickly eliminated by that Doomfist. The ultimate coming from Ana, powering up that Doomfist. Might be a little early, but he goes in nonetheless. Using his ultimate as well. We got an ultimate from that Genji as well, pulling out all the stops from the Madison Marbles, including the Diva. It looks like we got 2 eliminations from that Moira and the Doomfist. The Genji takes down Madison Marbles, and the Doomfist again with the Moira, just cleaning up that Reaper that's left. Using his ultimate, doesn't get anyone there. That might have been a waste from the Shogun right there. Looks like Madison continuing this push, getting to the first checkpoint here.
Welcome to Dunkertown.
As this wall goes down, they push through. Doomfist getting in there. The charge from Poison Apple hits the wall, misses, gets hit by the enemy Reinhardt, and gets taken down. The rest of the Madison Marbles team on the point. Both teams fairly even in the ultimates. The Shogun have 2 ultimates currently, but Madison is not far behind in those. You can see how close they are with those percentages. Ultimate from Franklin, gets 2 of them. Is able to eliminate that Doomfist, but he is then quickly eliminated, but is revived by that Mercy. But then the Mercy herself goes down as well. Poison Apple back in here with that ultimate, gets 2 of them, but is unfortunately taken out right afterwards. Dreamer coming back here, trying to get a play going on here. gets that soldier out of the way so he's not able to get that high ground anymore, and pushes the rest of the Franklin team off of the point here. And ultimate comes out from that Moira doing that high damage beam, but the ultimate from the Shogun lifting up everyone and dealing half of their health all in one go, but is unable to catch anyone out. Looks like Madison's team is falling dangerously low here. They need to get some healing from that Ana. And the ultimate comes out from Ana, powering up that Doomfist, a powerful combination. See if he can get any eliminations from this. It does appear that he's able to get that Reinhardt right at the end there. This entire fight been back and forth, just trying to push this point a little bit farther. Another ultimate comes out from the Madison team and straight down on that Sigma. Is he able to get that elimination? He is, and looks like he actually missed that Mercy there, and the Mercy will get that resurrection as well to even the odds once again. Everyone back. The Genji coming back here. Luigi, the ultimate Death Blossom from the Franklin team, another ultimate from their Soldier 76 will be enough to clean up 2 of the marbles. A third one from that charge, and then the ultimate from Franklin as well. Using every single thing they have, another ultimate might be a little bit overkill here from the Franklin Shogun, because now the advantage goes to the Madison Marbles for the amount of ultimate abilities that they have up. Both that Genji's and the Diva's ultimates are extremely powerful. Genji pulling out a sword and doing a lot of damage, as we see him here doing a ton of damage, almost eliminating the entire team with the help of that Moira's damage beam as well. And that right there secures this next checkpoint for the Madison Marbles. Alrighty, and with that second point, the ultimate coming from Doomfist right out of the gate, and getting one of them, gets 2 of them right there. A fantastic job by Frost getting that backline and eliminating them quickly so that the rest of the Franklin team doesn't have a whole lot of damage right here. The ultimate comes out from the Sigma, probably just to try to hold them off here, but is it going to be enough? The rest of the Franklin team managed to get back to the point. The ultimate coming from that Franklin Mercy doing a bunch of healing. The Moira off in the corner here. The main healer here has to get in there and try to kill some of them, even though she's not being too healthy herself. That Genji fighting the Reaper. A very tough thing, and you see the Moira's ultimate charges so easily here. The good job by Dreamer blocking that ultimate from the Reaper, able to use her abilities to prevent damage from that one. But it looks like that ultimate from the Shogun, from that Soldier 76 is enough to eliminate the rest of the marbles, and they will have to regroup here. They only have 20 seconds in order to get this point to the 3rd place. So we will see if they are able to do that. They cannot afford to be eliminated again. And right away from the Sigma, but caught by that Roadhog right there, canceling his ultimate ability. That is a huge play from Madison. In with the Diva ultimate, and she gets a triple elimination with the Genji coming out as well, getting that elimination as well. The Reaper is the only one left from the Shogun, barely hanging on here, and he will quickly be eliminated as well. Now, with the game into overtime, the Madison Marbles cannot afford to get off of this point. If they leave this cart at any moment, they will lose this round. See that Doomfist up at the top, getting into the back line. Is he able to do anything? an ultimate again from the Madison Marbles. That Roadhog and the Moira Beam doing a lot of damage here. Is it going to be enough? Another ultimate from that Doomfist. Getting that Sigma as well. Madison Marbles pulling out all the stops here to get this point into here. And like I said, the Franklin used all of their ultimate abilities too fast, and they just simply were not able to stop them. It looks like the Moira is sneaking in here trying to prevent this point from being moved forward. Same with the Reinhardt, but it's just not going to be enough. And the Madison Marbles get this round secured. Some amazing ultimate timing from the Madison Marbles. Just goes to show you how important it is to use your ultimate abilities at the correct time. And with this, the Madison Marbles go into their first game with a lead. Now we see if the Franklin Shogun are able to get this push here. They will have to do the exact same thing, getting it all the way to the end of the point, which will be no small feat here, as the Madison Marbles have seemed to find their groove for this game. So we will see how they perform in the defending role as we get going here. And as we can see, we have a couple of new characters that are being played here. The Topjorn from the Madison Marbles is a very good defensive character, able to put down turrets that are able to eliminate enemies for you, along with a ultimate ability that can lay lava on the ground. So that will be very effective at keeping the Shogun off of that point. Aside from that, it looks like from the Franklin team, nothing new here, going with that Mercy. And an interesting choice by that Bastion. While he's normally immobile, he can sit on top of that point to get a mobile turret going on there, which can be an effective thing. The Madison Marbles really trying to get it out of the gate here. And it looks like the first blood will go to the Shogun, and with that, it looks like they have gotten this first push here, unless the Doomfist can say anything about it. He's trying to get that Bastion off the point, but isn't able to get up there, unfortunately. And like I said, that Bastion sitting on top of that point while the cart is moving is able to become a mobile turret, which is something that is extremely powerful and will be hard to get him off. We'll see how the Madison Marbles are able to combat this. And as you can see from Topjorn, we got that turret able to be destroyed by the Shogun though. And it looks like the Madison Marbles are able to flank here, and canceling that Mercy's resurrection was big, because that would have been that Bastion back into play. It looks like we have Poison Apple getting a couple of eliminations there with the help of 007 Climber with that Moira. And here we have, they are slowly pushing back the point. If there is no one from the attacking team near the point, they're able to slowly push it back inch by inch. So the Franklin team trying to post up on the side here, but that Riptire from the Madison Marbles, seeing if it can get over to the other side. Will it be able to find a place? And it does, right as that Bastion tries to use his ultimate. He gets shut down with that Riptire, doing a bunch of damage in the back line. That was a fantastic job by Frost getting in the back line to eliminate those high key targets right there. It looks like the Marbles are doing a fantastic job of keeping this defended, keeping their numbers strong. That numbers advantage, while they are all very low, it looks like they are staying alive. That Moira doing a great job, but unfortunately falls to that Bastion up on the high ground. And so this will be a tough one. The Ana getting attacked here. You see the Diva here sneaking. No one even seems to notice that she's here. But she doesn't have her mech. There she goes, and now she is a force to be reckoned with again. The ultimate from the Sigma doing a bunch of damage. The ultimate from that Genji from the Madison team, though. It looks like the Madison Marbles have such an ultimate ability advantage that they might be able to turn this around. The Diva ultimate getting that Franklin player caught out, and then the Death Blossom by the Franklin, but unfortunately, he's not around anyone and only gets that Genji. But it looks like that might have been enough as the Marvels are being pushed out here. But once again, Dreamer coming in here, fearless into the face of battle. Now she is unfortunately outside of her mech, so she won't be that powerful. Will the Madison Marvels be able to stop them here? It doesn't appear so. They will probably just regroup at the next point. And the Riptire from Madison Marvels, right in the middle of them, gets 5 kills right there. That was amazing from Frost right there. Getting that 5-tuple kill, if that's even what you call it, right there, right after they get that point. A huge play by Frost. Madison Marvels trying to push this point back. Unfortunately, once it hits a checkpoint, you can't push it back, so they will be defending this point. Looks like the Franklin team back with a vengeance. Probably not happy about those eliminations before. Fortunately, it looks like they are going to be pushing up here as the Madison Marvels are going to have to regroup here. See that Genji able to deflect bullets actually. So if that Bastion tries to attack the Genji while he has his deflector on, he will actually be eliminated himself. The ultimate ability coming from the Franklin Bastion. But the Genji in the backline, you can see it just does so much damage, and the supports just aren't able to handle it. Doing so much damage here, disrupting the entire Franklin team. It looks like they're running around without any real directive here. We'll see how that works out for them. Now it looks like that Reinhardt is able to get into the back line and eliminate the rest of them. But you hear that Riptire again. Will it happen again? He's coming in and gets a double elimination right there. Not as glamorous as the first time, but 2 eliminations is 2 eliminations here as Frost chucks in those grenades for some area of effect damage against the entire Franklin team. So the Zyra gets pinned, Poison Apple eliminated, but Frost again with the bombs. But is unfortunately taken out here. And that Reinhardt going dangerously far in, but with the Diva ultimate, able to not find anyone. Unfortunately, it might have just been a little bit too high for it to reach any of the other characters. But the ultimate from Moira coming in. Sigma tries to get everyone, but is only able to find one there. That Bastion, though, doing so much damage and unable to be eliminated right now. Finally, Jack gets it, sends out the Riptire point blank range, and is now aiming to try to get back to his team, but unfortunately gets caught out by that Reinhardt. Here we go, the Bastion back, trying to get back to that turret form on that thing, but he is not yet here. However, the Franklin Shogun seem to be getting in here, and you can see they just need to reach this point in order to win this round. Death Blossom comes out, gets a couple of eliminations there, and that might be it for the Madison Marvels. Unfortunately, it looks like the Shogun were able to push up ahead here.
Greetings, Duncan.
Score 3-3. Switching sides.
Just like that, the game is tied, and they will actually switch sides again with this tiebreaker round. A super close game by both teams, pulling out all the stops for this game. Ironic that it is the friendly match, that this has been the closest of all of them. But both teams coming out, both reaching the end of the track for this last round.
Ready for battle.
And so now, as we start over again, we will be switching sides once again, so the Madison Marvels will be pushing this point. We'll see how they do this time. A little bit of a different choice for the healers. We have the Zenyatta. Zenyatta with the party in the back room over here while they wait for this match to start. And it looks like to be a largely similar team from the Franklin Shogun. I suppose if it is not broken, there is no reason to fix it.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Coming out here with the Orisa. Much like the Bastion, you're actually able to put this shield on top of the car so that it is able to move with it. Normally immobile champion really is able to shine by being able to use this cart to their advantage. Right off the bat, that Diva getting dangerously low, gets out of her mech. Can she survive this Reaper? Most likely not, but gets behind her team. And if she's able to get enough shots in, she's able to get back in her mech, but is unfortunately not able to. And so, just like that, you could see that the Genji was able to reflect those bullets from that Bastion and able to eliminate him. And the Riptire from Jack, from the Frost, and he gets a quadruple kill again. Those Riptires coming in super effective there. And as this is overtime, they just have to get it as far as possible in the amount of time that they have. So if they keep on this point, they will have a good chance of getting it to this first checkpoint here. And you can see that Reaper getting in there, seeing if he can get it. The ultimate ability coming from the Moira from the Shogun. Is it going to be enough to get the marbles off of this point? The Reaper able to stay on there, and the Moira healing everyone up. Is it going to be enough? And it looks like it might be. And we get to the first checkpoint from the Madison Marvels with only 2 eliminations here. Hopefully they will be able to regroup with their team in order to get this next one. However, you can see on the upper left side that the Franklin team has a lot of ultimate abilities either ready or almost about to be, while the Madison Marvels are not going to have nearly that many. We'll see how the Marvels react to this, and once again, we will see how it comes into play of when you use your ultimates. Will the Shogun be able to use them in an effective manner to stop this next push? And you see that Riptire once again getting up there, getting a double kill as well. Once again, those Riptires doing a lot of work for the Madison Marvels from Frost. And here we have that Genji doing a lot of work too from Luigi. Unfortunately, a lot of them get caught in that Graviton beam, but it won't be enough to eliminate any of them. And the power-up beam from Orisa, from Dreamer, able to power up the entire team. And then the Zenyatta with XP Liam out here, healing up his entire team, making sure that none of them are going to be eliminated in this push. And they successfully reached the second point in overtime. That is incredible. They reached from point 1 to checkpoint 2 all in overtime, which means they haven't left the point a single time, which is incredible. Now for the final push here, going to be a difficult one once again. The ultimate from that Reaper getting a couple of eliminations, but thankfully not all of them, and he will be eliminated right after that as well. Will that be enough for the push from XP League Franklin? It appears that it might be, although the ultimate ability coming from that Genji doing a lot of damage. Can he get to that? Unfortunately, they weren't able to. The Madison team left the point for just that amount of time, and that was enough to end that round. But with a fantastic first push, the Franklin team will now have to respond by getting this far in 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Keep in mind that it took them a lot longer to get there the first time, so we will see how they handle this first push here, and what the team compositions look from each side. That Riptire being so effective in this past match here, you have to wonder if the Shogun will pull out something that is able to counter that strategy. Preferably just someone who is able to quickly eliminate that tire as it's coming towards them. But it doesn't appear so. They don't have a lot of damage that is able to do so from far ranges to get that Riptire out of the way before it's able to explode. And of course, we have Frost still on that character, being so effective against this Shogun team. We will see how it plays out this time as well. And so it looks like also we have a change from Poison Apple moving to that Roadhog. Pretty good at pulling characters close to him to get them out of position. That might play into effect by that Bastion. If he's able to hook, if Poison Apple is able to hook that Bastion, she could get it right in front of her so that she could eliminate it very fast. But it looks like right out of the gate, once again, the Madison team a little overzealous by being that close, and quickly is eliminated from this first time, and will have to regroup. That Genji trying to do some damage here, trying to distract the enemy team, but it is not looking too good from here. Everyone is on the high ground, but unfortunately the point is still moving. Frost here doing some extra damage with Dreamer coming in there, trying to disrupt the back line, and it looks like she is doing a decent job of it. Unfortunately, Frost is eliminated, and we'll have to regroup with the rest of the team. The Moira dangerously in the dangerous spot and will be eliminated as well. That Reinhardt going a little bit too far, and you can hear in that background that Riptire once again. We'll see how effective it is this time, and we have got a double elimination once again. I believe every single time that Frost has used that, he's gotten at least 2 eliminations, which is incredible. We got Dreamer up in the front. The ultimate coming from the Mercy, going to be able to heal everyone around here fairly effectively, but it's not going to be enough for that Reaper as he gets eliminated by that Roadhog. Roadhog does a lot of damage from close range, which is why he's got that hook. Poison Apple using that to the best of her ability. And now we have Luigi with the ultimate from Genji, using that sword to slice everyone up. Will it be enough? It looks like they're going to be able to successfully hold. The Shogun only have 20 seconds to get that far. And another Riptire from Frost. Let's see where this one ends up. Getting a single elimination there, but that's really all he needed. But the Mercy resurrects that one elimination, and we will see if they are able to get going. We have overtime starting up here. The ultimate from the Diva is able to get a double elimination. Both that Reaper and the Sigma is huge. And then the healing from that Zenyatta. A good job by XP Liam, making sure that his entire team will not be eliminated. And it looks like the Marvels might just pull this one off. Just the Moira and the resurrection from the Mercy just clinging on there from the Shogun, but they can't hold on forever as they're just going in one by one with the ultimate abilities coming out again from Madison to get them off the point. And there we have it. A victory for the gold team right there. An excellent display. You can tell how much these players are improving every single match. And no surprise here, we got Junkrat, Frost with that Riptire here. As you can see, a very, very powerful ability as he eliminates basically the entire team and then comes back for more. And there we have it. An unfortunate overall loss for the Marvels, but pulling out all the stops for this last. With Frost with 86 eliminations. An absolutely incredible showing by the Marvels and Frost this round. And so I will be right back with someone to interview, get their opinion on how this game went, and I will be right back. All right, welcome back, everyone. I have Dreamer with me, who is the recipient of the XP coin today for her outstanding performance today. I would like to ask you, what do you think the team did well today?
I think we're getting a lot better with like working together and making sure to like stick together and just do a lot of damage and work together.
Yeah, no, working together is like a huge part of Overwatch. Going in one by one, obviously not the greatest idea.
Yeah.
What did you think your best play of the game was? I know you played Diva for a while there, got a few good ultimates, but...
Yeah, I think the ultimates definitely, and then in the like actual games, I think I was doing a lot of healing and stuff and doing good at that and staying alive.
Yeah. No, it's the unsung heroes of Overwatch are the supports, and
Definitely.
keeping the team alive is sometimes quite difficult
Yeah.
through all the damage, so you did a good job there. And so,
Thank you.
yeah, heard it here. This will be the end of this night's stream. We'll be back next week, so make sure to check out the Facebook page for the game times. And yeah, and also note that we got jerseys now, so they're pretty cool. Got their gamer tags on the back as well. We'll be starting up tryouts again soon for the spring season, so if anyone or you know anyone who's interested in joining, make sure that you visit us at xpleague.gg.